And we live. What's up, guys? What is going on? Diehard Giants fan, Gangrene David, Super Mo, Midwest Sports. What's up, guys? And I brought some friends along with me, and the three gentlemen that you see here are pretty much responsible for why I'm here. But let's play a little game to start. Which one of these people is not like the others? There's three guys that are Italian from the Northeast, and there's one person that is not like the others.
The other guy, yeah. Whatever that is. Not going to name names, but I think we all know who it is.
But anyways, guys, I got Goose Sports, Baddog Sports, and the Entertainah Talkin Sports, the three people who are responsible for me being here. But what's up, fellas? How's your Monday going?
Yep. Monday.
Going good, man.
Monday. No, man, it's a pleasure to be here, man. Bobby's always been a great supporter of all of our channels. So when you popped onto my Discord, asked me if I wanted to come on, definitely, man. So glad to be here.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here, man. Like I was telling you guys before we started, these are two of my originals when I started streaming. I can remember Goose, coming in when I had like 12 people in my live stream. Goose was one of them. And then Bobby would come in with the Andy Reid jokes every time, which is great.
That's right.
I remember that. Yeah.
And newsflash, he's still fat enough you can high five God from his stomach. Newsflash.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, I got some topics that I wanted to bring you guys on here and get your opinions on. So let's jump right into it, and we'll talk about probably the most recent stuff, and that's the events going on with Major League Baseball and the bickering back and forth and the inability of either side wanting to basically give an inch. I hope we get a season. I would like to see a baseball season. I think the Yankees have a legit shot at least a good run at it this year. I think the Astros are still in it, but with what's gone on, I truly don't know. To me, it's going to be a bad look if they don't play, and they're going to lose a lot of fans, and their ratings are already going down as it is. So this is going to hurt. I mean, if they don't play, it's going to hurt them big time. We'll start from underneath me with the Entertainah Talkin Sports. What do you got, Tana? What do you think, man? You think we play, or do you think they just say
I honestly don't know at this point, and I'm a Mets fan, so it's been tough for me, but I went into this year with optimism before Noah Syndergaard got hurt. I thought the Mets had a bright future, and I was just looking forward to baseball, and it's probably the sport I miss the most right now because that usually is the start of spring. It's when you, like Baddog always says, you start getting in the mood for nice weather. And that carries me through to football. And it sucks not having baseball. But with everything that's going on right now, it seems like there's division between the owners and the players. It's complete greed. And it's a shame because I thought this was a golden opportunity for baseball really to take the sports world by storm. It's kind of a dying sport right now. There's nothing going on. And yes, I know that the NBA is probably coming back, but they had the opportunity because it's every day, and people are looking for something to watch, and they might have gained a lot more fans, but I don't know if they're going to come back because now I'm hearing things like the owners are saying it's only going to be like a 50 games, whatever it was. Some people want 100. They can't even come to a decision on that. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know if they're going to play. I hope that they do, but I'll say this: if it's 48 games or whatever it is, what's the point of playing? That's 1 month. You can't judge a team a month and a half. You can't judge a team off a month and a half. So if they're going to play, I hope it's at least a half a season. That's what I'll say about it.
Oh, I agree. And just so OGR, you are the fucking man. Let me just say that. Thank you for that, man. The 50 spot dono hype. He says, great bunch of guys. Wish I could stay longer. I wanted to show some support going to bed. Well, good night, brother, and much appreciated. Brother. OGR, you are the man, dude.
He is the man.
He is the man. Thank you for the 50 spot, my dude. And we got another one coming in from the sports expert. He says, yes, sir. I love these roundtables. Oh, yeah, you guys rock. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Much appreciated for the donation. Tana, I agree. I just, what's the point? If it's 50, what is the point? It's a month. It's 5 weeks of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, the way baseball is, man, you could have a bad team that could have a good month. So it's just not enough it's not enough games to where you're going to get the right teams in the playoffs, in my opinion.
No.
You got to play at least 80 games. You got to play at least half a season. If they're not going to do that, don't play at all.
What do you think, Baddog?
Usually when there's two sides of an argument, I get on both sides. I usually don't take a side. I'm with the players on this one. I heard 50 games, and now they're talking about maybe less. Like Chris just said, what is the point of playing 45 games in baseball? Baseball, see, to me, I love baseball. There's a reason I love baseball so much. Number one, it's nostalgic for me going to the park with my father, my grandfather when I was young. God rest my soul. My dad would have been, or God rest his soul, my dad would have been 66 today. Today's his birthday. But I always remember doing that. Nothing like the crack of the bat, the warm weather, the green grass, the smells of everything that goes on in the ballpark. I love it. And it's like family because every night I know I got the Yankees or I got the Mets or I got the Dodgers or I got whatever. I got somebody to watch. If for 6 months I have something on television every night, you get emotionally attached to them. Especially with the Yankees having the opportunity that they've had being one of the better teams in baseball and signing Garrett Cole. I was excited. And like Chris says, this is an opportunity for them to pick up fans. They never recovered from the strike in 94. Ratings go down in baseball for the simple fact that a lot of people, it's a slower paced game. This day's generation doesn't have the patience for a slow game. And number two, it's the betting. There's no betting on baseball. Not like football anyway. There's fantasy baseball leagues, not like fantasy football leagues. There's betting on baseball, not like betting on football. Football gets all those ratings, all that money because people are throwing money at it left and right for Vegas. Baseball needs to get it together. They have to, because if they go down with the way it is right now with the bad timing, there's millions of people out of work because of this pandemic. And you're going to sit there and watch millionaires fight with billionaires, guys who never need to worry about anything for the rest of their life. Not a good look for Major League Baseball. They got to get their shit together or they're in trouble.
Oh, it's an awful look. It's terrible. Like it really is. Like if they don't play, they're going to look like they're toast.
Yeah, and not to mention it's coming off the whole Astros scandal thing, which was a black guy in the first place, and now you're doing this on top of it.
Hey, both the Sox and the Astros after two of the biggest cheating scandals in years.
Yeah,
like they already look bad as it is. Yep. Goose, what do you think, man?
Goose's mic is muted.
Now
professional.
But here we go. So, as somebody who's we don't have a baseball major league team here, but I grew up in the time watching the Cubs, watching the Braves because they were on WGN, TBS. So, like Baddog says, every day there was a game to watch. So, and then the strike happened in '94. I have two friends to this day. They say they don't watch baseball because of that '94 strike. So I think this is if they do not come to an agreement, and but I agree with them. 50 games, you can't tell who the best team is, especially in baseball. 50 games. It just that's way. That's I don't know if 80 is enough, honestly. I don't know. I think what the baseball said, I think the players said 114. I think they wanted. Of course, the owners put that down. But I still think they'll come to an agreement. I just don't. But I don't think it's going to be 50. It's got to be at least 80, 90 games.
Yeah.
But if they don't come to an agreement, like I said, baseball is already losing popularity, nationwide for the casual fans that don't watch baseball. But just I don't know. I thought baseball was a sure lock. If you'd asked me what team league was a lock, I said baseball. They're coming back. Looks like they're not coming back. I thought hockey was the one that wasn't coming back, and but looks like hockey and basketball, will come back. And baseball, unless they're running out of time. They're down to the last out. I think they can't just hemhaul around this much longer. I think they have to get something done. Next week and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
By the 15th. You can't just
Goose. How many times we've talked off cam?
Yeah.
time is not their friend now. Like they have
No.
they have to get this done. If it's going to happen, they can't drag it out any longer. They have to make it. They have to finalize things and get it going.
Yeah.
I'll give it to the NBA. I'll give it to the NBA. They finally. I mean, I think July 31st is too long. I thought maybe they should start sooner than that. But at least they have a plan. There's a plan for the NBA. So at least they have that.
Yeah, it looks like NBA's coming.
Oh,
All
NBA is
right,
coming
so-
back. July 31st.
Yeah, July 31st.
July 31st. This guy makes his return.
And the Laker dog is back. I'm so happy about that.
No, I'll be
Make a Celtics, Bobby. We're doing it.
I'm so happy.
No, I'll call. I mean, I was actually with Zion. My Pelican streams were actually getting better, and then the plug got pulled. It's like
He'll come back.
So Gangrene David, thank you for the super chat, man. He says, awesome video makers, awesome stream. Way to go, guys. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate that, man. Once again, another great supporter of, I think, all of our
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
channels.
Yeah, great guy. I'm actually going to be going on his channel soon. He reached out to me. Looking forward to that. Yeah, Gangrene's up. We got to meet Gangrene. He's a great guy. Baddog and myself got to meet him at the Giant Jet game. And
we
no,
can, I can actually drink a beer with him now. So
Yeah.
that was,
I told him
that's
I
going to
was
happen.
about beer because he was drinking Budweiser. I said, "You need help, son.
Yeah. Look, we need to get you. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll help you out, bro.
We got you."
We'll steer you in the right direction.
yeah, Budweiser is like I used to drink Budweiser, but I don't anymore.
Hey,
Good man,
Josh
yeah.
and Sean, Bud Light is trash.
Yeah.
Bud Light's water, man. Bud Light's water.
At me about it.
Yeah.
you know what's funny about the baseball I was thinking about is doesn't every team have their own did I lose this right here? I just want to make sure. Doesn't every team have their own network? Like the Mets have SNY, the Yankees have. So wouldn't you
Yeah,
think
pretty much, man. Yeah.
Red
Wouldn't
Sox
you
have
think
Nesson. Yep.
that would generate more revenue than the other sports because they have their own networks for their teams?
It's where they get a lot of the revenue.
Yeah.
See,
so in a
think-
way, they'd kind of be at an advantage as opposed
Yeah.
to the other sports.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
and you got to look at it too. Like the big teams, Yankees, Boston, Astros, Dodgers, any of these teams in the bigger markets, they'll survive without the gate money because of that ad revenue, because of the draw. They still have the TV draw. They can still charge $2 million for commercials. For 20 commercials per game. They don't. I mean, they'll survive without that gate. That gate revenue. Like teams like the Brewers, teams like the Marlins, teams like the Padres. They need that gate money to pay.
No, let's be fair. They're not getting much gate money even when they do allow fans in the stands.
But that's what I mean. They're so and they're not a big TV draw either. So it's like, I mean, I'm sure their profit margins aren't anywhere close to what some of these bigger teams are, and it's just overall just it's just frustrating to me to just watch and be like, come on, guys, like you both got we're all in it. It's a giant shit sandwich, and everybody knows it. You just have to, you're just gonna have to bite the bullet for one season.
I mean, come on, man.
For one season,
half a season, suck it the hell up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, there's millions of people out of work that are having a hard time surviving because they don't have millions and billions in the bank.
Right.
If you got $12 million in the bank and you lose your job, it's like, oh, okay, I can live off this for a little bit. But I mean, come on, man. There's guys.
There's people who take
$40,000 a year and lost their job. It's ridiculous.
No, absolutely. Shout out to diehard Giants fan who Baddog. He came from you guys. That dude is awesome.
Oh, he's the man.
Yeah, great guy.
That dude is
got to meet
awesome.
him too.
He was at the game too.
He is awesome. He's shown my channel nothing but love ever since he got here. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat. He says, great group of guys. Mad respect to all of you. This is awesome.
Yeah, diehard Giants fans, awesome, man.
Goose, and even you. Even fans outside of the Giants community.
He's
always there.
He comes to my channel.
He's always there, dude. And that's that's just awesome. I
like meeting other fans, other teams. I mean, it's just, I like that. No matter who you pull for.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Go for the Falcons.
A lot of my supporters are NFC East foes. Some of
Yeah,
my
dude,
best supporters
you
are
have
Eagles
more
and Cowboys.
Giants and I mean, you have more Cowboys and Eagle fans on
Eagle
your
fans,
channel
yeah,
than
Eagle
I
fans.
know. And they show up
They do.
every stream, dude.
I love
Every stream.
It's amazing.
Got
Yeah.
some of the best supporters on YouTube. Can never say thank you enough to everybody.
Oh, dude, it's incredible. The community is awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
So I got an interesting topic for the next one. Let's talk about the Belichick coaching tree.
Ooh, I
and
like that.
the successes and the failures coming off that tree. In particular, we can start. We'll go back to like the Charlie Weisses and kind of the Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel, and then we can work our way forward to the Kubiak, the what's O'Brien and like
Patricia.
Flores and more
right
current,
back.
Matt Patricia, more current day.
Josh McDaniels.
Now, I mean, some of the biggest failures I think were the three biggest ones that come to mind for me are, and it just goes to prove that you can be a really good coordinator, and I mean really good, because Crennel, Weiss, and I mean the three that come to mind to me were that like kind of fell flat on their face were Crennel, Weiss, and Josh McDaniels as head coaches. They fell flat on their face. They fell.
I'll
flat
tell you
on
what,
their face.
Patricia's falling on his face right now too.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting there with him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't show major improvement this year, because he's had 2 years now to get his guys in place and to get a system in place. So if the Lions don't do well this year, then I'm getting there on him too. But the three that come to me that have really fallen on their face were Crennel, Weiss, and Josh McDaniels. And I mean they left, and it was, I mean, and you hear it, how many times do you hear it from the Belichick coaching tree? Like they leave and like Bill puts them in a spot where they succeed. Like it's the same thing with players. He puts he finds the jobs that these coaches are good at, and he just puts people into place for success. And when they leave, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. What do you think, Baddog?
Oh man, well, I think part of the issue is, Belichick is, in my opinion, the greatest coach ever. He came from the Giants, which is awesome. Giants, you want to talk about a coaching tree? Giants have got one of the best coaching trees in the history. They do have the best coaching tree in the history of football, no doubt. Crennel actually came from the Giants, which is pretty amazing. He was part of their championship team in 1990.
Belichick spent some time there too.
Yeah, Belichick was our defensive coordinator from 1983. Well, he's a linebackers coach in 83. He became a defensive coordinator in 84, won 2 Super Bowls. But you know what? I think a lot of the problem with this is, number one, they go to non-optimal situations.
Seriously?
Okay, man. He wants to.
Lots of camera time.
Seriously.
He's the host.
This fucking. Come here.
But
I'm not even joking. When I say my cat is huge,
that thing is huge.
I thought it was a
You got to
dog.
feed that cat, man.
look, dude.
The cat needs something to eat.
It's a link.
He went to the vet 2 weeks ago. 19 and 3/4 pounds.
That's almost, my
Oh,
kid
man,
weighs just over that. My kid doesn't eat anything. But as I was saying, I think part of the problem is these guys go. And, again, not all coordinators make good head coaches. It's just the way it is. You look at Shermer, he was terrible. You look at both Buddy and Rex Ryan. They're good. They're good coordinators. McAdoo. Who the hell's the other guy I'm thinking of? Wade Phillips. I mean, there's a bunch of them. But I think a lot of these guys go to other teams and they try to coach like Belichick. Well, you can't coach like Belichick. You are not Bill Belichick. It's something I hope Judge does not fall into, is trying to do what Belichick did. Yes, take the things you learn from Belichick, take the things you learn from Saban. Take that stuff, but you have to put your own spin on it. Kind of like I do when I'm streaming. I mean, I take a lot of things from announcers that I've heard over the years, but I put my own spin on it. And, it becomes entertaining. So Joe Judge has to take all the things he learned, but he has to put his own stamp on it. He has to have his own personality. And I think a lot of these guys, I just think that they come from Belichick and they think it's that easy because they watch him do it for years. They're like, I'm just going to emulate exactly what Belichick does. And it doesn't work because they're not Bill Belichick. So I have high hopes for Joe Judge. I really do. I don't think he's like these other guys. I listen to the way he talks. Now, again, I mean, actions speak louder than words. You can say all the right things in a press conference and still not have results in the field. He has to get these players to play. That's the thing that Belichick was the best at, was getting the most out of his talent. Your best coaches get that. Patricia, Crennel, Weiss, none of those guys got the most out of their talent. That's something Joe Judge and his coordinators have got to do. Is get the most out of their talent. They do that, they're going to succeed.
You know what I like about Judge, and you know what I like about Brian Flores? They're not like flashy. That like they're soft spoken. They're the approach. You know what I mean? The approach that they take. I think Flores and I think Judge are gonna. I think Judge is gonna do well for you guys. I really do. And I think Brian Flores in Miami, I think you're going to see a big jump there too. So real quick, 1 second. Thank you for the 2 new members, the sports expert and Asia Robertson. Thank you so much, guys, for becoming a member and becoming part of the family. Y'all are awesome.
Yeah, two other great supporters of ours. Thank you guys for being.
Dude, like I said, the community, they are not even Boston sports fans, and yet you don't have to do that, and they do, and it's awesome. And both of them, the Asia and Die Hard and the sports, like all, dude, it's crazy. I really do appreciate it. Goose, what do you think, bro?
Oh, about his coaching tree?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy that was on his staff when he was in Cleveland that LSU fans know very well. That's Nick Saban. Nick Saban was his defensive back coach when he was in Cleveland. Or Nick Saban came here in 2000. LSU was pretty much they were a dead football program. They haven't had much success since the late 80s. And Saban came here and changed the culture big time at LSU. Won a national championship. Then he left and went to the Dolphins and fizzled out. And mainly probably because he didn't get Drew Brees. But
forgot all about that, Goose. He was almost a Dolphin.
He was.
Brees.
And if Brees would have went to the Dolphins.
Yep.
And let's say Brees is what he's here with the Saints. Saban probably would still be there in Miami. The Saints might not even be here. Honestly, they might be in San Antonio. After Hurricane Katrina, there was a lot of talk about the Saints moving, and Sean Payton, Brees came, and rest is history. But the Belichick probably is the best coach NFL's ever seen. I mean, it's got to be him or Lombardi, one of those two guys. But he's just, I mean, year after year after year, Belichick just wins 10 games a year, and he's going to work for his money this year without Tom Brady. But he won in Cleveland. The guy won in Cleveland. He won I think they were 11-5 in '94. I think it was '94. The Browns. They won the division, I believe, something like that.
Yeah,
so,
94.
He won in Cleveland. They won in Cleveland. He can win without Brady. I don't think that's what's going to happen this year. I don't know.
Better than him either.
But I mean, because Stidham, it's his first year starting, so it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses. He was okay at Auburn, but he's just. But I mean, like I said, I think Belichick probably is the best coach NFL's ever seen. If he's not, I mean, he's right below Lombardi. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, but he might be better. He might be better than Lombardi, just because the guy's won 6 championships.
8 if
I don't know.
It's okay, Goose. You could say it. He's the greatest coach ever.
He is.
It's okay. You can say, I know it might hurt a little bit, but you can say,
he is.
You can say it.
He's the greatest coach ever.
Lombardi was the Giants, mind you. Lombardi was a Giants coach. So was Landry. We had the best.
Yeah, we had our coaching tree is ridiculous historically.
Yeah, Landry was a great coach too, but I don't think.
Dude, the Giants coaching tree is like
The best ever.
stupid good. It's stupid good. The
Responsible for a
coaches
lot
that
of
have come from that
championships.
organization.
Yeah.
Tana, what do you? So what do you think, bro? Like, do you?
Yeah, my thoughts on the I actually did a video on this maybe a couple of months ago, and it's a really interesting topic because it's kind of been a rarity that Belichick is the greatest coach who ever lived, yet he has arguably the worst coaching tree ever in terms of success.
One of the worst. Yeah,
in terms of coaches that have succeeded elsewhere. And I think there's some interesting theories to this that I've heard from people along the way. I think one of the theories is when you look at the players that Belichick brings in, a lot of times they're not the most talented guys. Guys like Danny Woodhead, just for example, name off the top of my head, but there's plenty of guys that were castaways at other places. He brings them in. He finds Wes Welker. He finds what they're good at, and he makes them great. And maybe he does the same thing with a lot of his coaches. Maybe they're not necessarily great head coach material, a lot of them, but he finds what they're good at. And you look at a lot of these guys that have failed when they've left the Patriots. They were specialists, guys like Matt Patricia. The number of guys, right? Charlie Weiss. A lot of these guys were specialists, which is what I like about Joe Judge, and it's kind of what I like about Brian Flores. They're kind of well-rounded football coaches. But the other thing, I think a lot of these guys were put into situations where they couldn't really succeed. You look at Schwartz, for example. Schwartz took over a job with the Lions. They were 0-16 the year before he got there.
The Lions stink.
Yeah, he got them to the playoffs in 3 years after going 0-16. You mentioned Romeo Crennel. Romeo Crennel went to a horrible situation with the Cleveland Browns initially. So I think a lot of these guys were put into situations where they were set up to fail, kind of like the way Belichick was early on, even though he had that one good season. And sometimes you need a second stop before you can get good. McDaniels, I still think could have been a good head coach. I think it was too early for him. I think he was too full of himself.
Yeah, he's arrogant.
And he's arrogant. And like Baddog said earlier, he tried to copy Belichick too much. He wasn't his own man. He went in there and he got rid of all the great players on that team, and he tried to basically do what Belichick does. And I think he wasn't ready. If he gets another opportunity, maybe if he loses that attitude, he could be better. But I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's the fact that maybe a lot of these guys weren't meant to be good head coaches. He gets the most out of them. And some of the guys may not have been put in the best situations to succeed.
Well, hopefully Joe Judge is put in a situation to succeed because Lord knows we've been bad for the last 3 years. So I still think we're turning around. I really do. I think this team's going to be great in 2 years. I do.
I think. I mean, so what did you guys win last year? 5 games?
4.
So you're telling me that that Joe Judge himself, just from making smart coaching decisions and being like a good on the sideline leader and making smart decisions in in places you need good coaching decisions made, that can't win you 2 to 3 more games, absolutely. Yeah. And then you add in an upgrade. You guys, the Giants drafted pretty good. They filled a couple of they did plug some of the holes that they had. I mean, Daniel Jones with even a serviceable offensive line is, I mean, the kid proved last year, the Tampa Bay game, that pressure don't bother him. He can perform under pressure. Dude, 8-8 for you guys is absolutely doable. It's absolutely doable. Even though I think the Giants' schedule is a little, it's not too favorable, but 8-8 for you guys is absolutely doable. I think it is.
We got to beat the teams in our division. We're going to go 8-8, and I think we can. I honestly don't think Dallas and Philadelphia are that much better than we are. They do. Their fans do.
Yeah, they do. Especially the green guys, they do.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know that, Goose. They're going 19.
The green guys, yeah.
But, I mean, if we split with Dallas and Philly, I definitely think we can go 8-8. I mean, I was going 6-10 and getting swept by both of those teams, so I don't think it's out of the question. Hey, I just made a video today, and I'm telling you, Daniel Jones is going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league in 2020.
Dude, even a serviceable offensive line in front of him, even with a serviceable offensive line, if you can give him 3/4 of a second longer to throw the football, that kid will take that 3/4 of a second. And I think he made the flashes that he showed last year were very good. They're promising.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, Nate Solder. I've used these statistics a number of times.
Dude,
Nate
Solder for you guys.
Like,
I don't know what happened with him. but Solder, as soon as he got like, I don't know what happened, but like, it was
Coaching,
just
man.
There was just no, it seemed like there was no fuel in the tank for him at all.
He had personal problems last year. He had something going on with his kid, and I don't care. I mean, they're humans, so if something's going on with your kid, your mind's not going to be there all the time.
Yeah.
He gave up 59 pressures. That's the most in the NFL by far. Daniel Jones, the most accurate quarterback in passes over 20 yards in the air, but had one of the lowest percentages because his guys don't catch it.
And they don't create separation.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. He's also top 5
Right, you gotta get over.
window throws. So he's done all this as a rookie with a beat up offense and a horrible offensive line. Can you imagine what he could do? Like you said, Bobby, with an extra 3/4 of a second, with a healthy Saquon Barkley, with a healthy Sterling Shepard, with a healthy Evan Ingram, he could have a big season. And I think that he's going. No, I know that he's going to.
And that's another thing I want to point out about the offensive line last year, and why I think a big reason why they struggled was Saquon Barkley going down. If you realize, a lot of times I'll point to the fact that Eli Manning was under center the first 2 games, and I think that had something to do with it as well, because you brought in a rookie quarterback who wasn't maybe so acclimated to professional defenses and reading them pre-snap.
Right.
But also week 3, Saquon Barkley went down. So I think it was week 3. So when Barkley goes down, what does that do for the offense? It makes him so much more predictable. And that makes the offensive line's job that much harder. So I think it was a combination of things why that offensive line struggled. A healthy Saquon Barkley is going to help the offensive line, and it's going to help Daniel Jones.
A healthy Saquon Barkley puts the linebackers 3 steps backwards. Easily. Because they got to worry about if you a Saquon Barkley on a dump off against a linebacker, that's a mismatch all day.
Yeah,
he'll eat him alive. He'll eat him alive.
We need more wheel routes from Saquon. Get him matched up on a linebacker and run down the field.
That's what I'm saying. Like Barkley on a linebacker. I don't care if it's the most athletic linebacker in the league. It's still a mismatch.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
So but that's what I'm. So the coaching tree, like it's like Tana, you pointed out, it's like just because like Belichick is one of the greats, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that it's going to like look at the number of times coaches have left and fell on their face has just been like it doesn't mean it just doesn't translate. It doesn't always mean just because they're coming from a great organization doesn't mean it's always going to. That's why I like Flores. That's why I like the coach. Like Brian Flores has said, I'm not Bill Belichick. He said it a couple of times. I'm not Bill, and I'm not going to coach like he does. I'll take some good points that I learned from him, but he's said it multiple times down in I'm going to be my own coach. And the Dolphins figured some stuff out. The last 6 games of the season, they figured some stuff out, and they were playing well. They were definitely playing well. So let's stick with the football theme, gentlemen. And since it's my show, and this is not a democracy. This is a butch tatership.
Bobby, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make Asia super chat at you a while ago. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, so we'll get. Well, yeah. So you know what? We'll do that right now. Asia said. Let me back it up so I can see that. Sorry, Asia. Thanks for that, and thanks for that, Tana. Appreciate that, man. It says this is for Goose. Do you think Drew's comments will affect the Saints' season this year?
Good question. I mean, I don't know why he even said it, honestly, because he said the same thing 4 years ago. So I don't even know why he even came out and just reiterated his thoughts when his whole team knew how he felt. I can see it. I can see it causing a problem. Yes.
Sean
Payton I can see it causing a problem.
Before he released that comment, Sean Payton should have took him aside, taken that athletic tape, and just wrapped it around his head, and then let him go. I just don't tape his mouth or put a mouth that's when you got to know you have to know as a professional athlete when not to say anything.
I think we all agree Drew Brees is smart. I mean, I think he's a smart guy.
He should have just not said anything.
he just, I mean, I don't, like I said, 4 years ago, he said the same thing. His whole, I think his team knew his stance. I don't know why he came out and said it again when everybody knew, especially on the team, knew how he felt. I mean, it's just, it don't make any sense
I
to me.
think he made a mistake, and he should have just not. That's one of those situations where you're better just left.
He could have worded it a lot different.
Yeah,
he could answer the question a lot different.
Leave it unsaid. Like by saying something like that, especially with what's going on in the landscape that it is.
Yeah,
he should have just. To me, it's just like he should have just not said it. You're better off just saying not. You're better off saying nothing than putting out a statement like that in a time like it was just the wrong place, wrong time for it. That's what I would have to say.
But and to answer the question, I think it. I mean, I think it could. I don't know if it will. I guess time will tell. But yeah, I mean, I think it could, honestly.
So that's what we have to say on that.
Yep.
Now, since this is my show and it's a Butch Tater,
your show, Bobby's show. Yeah, Bobby's a dictator.
The Butch Tater.
The Butch Tatership. That's right.
That's it. I like that word.
So the Tom Brady move to Tampa Bay. Does that instantly turn them into Super Bowl favorites? Do they make the playoffs? Where do you think their run ends this year? Can he and Evans and that crew on offense get that team to the Super Bowl, or what do you think, Tana? What do you got?
All right, yeah, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of that last question that Asa just asked us, Goose, and because it kind of relates to the Bucs because they're in the same division. And I was a big Saints guy before that, and I think it's going to affect them. I had the Saints going to the Super Bowl. You've seen now. Not, all of Brees' teammates have come out, and not all of them, but some of his teammates have come out and said that they're pissed off about it. I think it's going to affect that locker room. I know Brees came out and apologized after the fact, but you could certainly argue that the only reason he apologized was because he wanted to look good in the court of public opinion.
The backlash on social media.
Right.
Yeah, the backlash on social media, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared to share my opinion on anything. I think Brees was dumb for saying it. It was a sensitive time to say it. It was not the right time to say it. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. It was a stupid time for him to come out and say that, and I do think it's going to affect that team. And I think the Bucs, because of that, are going to benefit. Initially, I had the Saints winning the division. I think I'm going to change to the Bucs. I think I'm going to have the Bucs winning the South. Now, in terms of winning the Super Bowl, I'm not buying it. Brady's 43 years old. And I completely respect that team. I think they got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. They got some good pass rushers. I think Todd Bowles is a very good defensive mind as a coordinator. I think they've, obviously Arians is a very good offensive mind. I think they'll win about 10 games. And I think they'll win that division probably 10 or 11 games maybe. But I'm not buying them being a Super Bowl contender because Brady's just not what he was. He's not even close. So I'm not buying in on that. But I do think they're a playoff team for sure.
What do you think, Baddog? What you got?
It's a great point that Chris made. I still think the Saints are winning the division. I think once these guys get on the field, again, it's just bad timing by Drew Brees. He just should have left the topic alone. It's a sensitive topic, so he should have just left it alone and just went about his business. Because like Goose said, he mentioned this 4 years ago or however many years ago it was. So I don't know. It's just bad timing. But I think once these guys get on the field, once they're together, once they're playing football, obviously, you don't forget his comments, but at the same time, you guys have a common goal. Your goal is to win the Super Bowl. These guys want to win a Super Bowl. You play the game to win the Super Bowl. I don't think it'll affect that team going forward. I still think that they're the class of that division. I still think you got one of the best receivers in the league, and Michael Thomas. You got Alvin Kamara. You got a pretty good defense over there. I still think that they win the division. Tampa Bay is a team that I definitely think can make the playoffs. I can see them going 9-7, but this is one of the best receiving groups that Tom Brady has had. Now their defense it can be up and down. There's no doubt about that. Someone told me the other day they got a great defense. I said, Daniel Jones tore your great defense up for 4 touchdowns with a terrible offensive line and no Saquon Barkley. So I don't know how great. Now Todd Bowles may make a difference over there. Like Chris said, he's a good defensive coordinator, which just goes to show, again, he's a terrible head coach. He's a good defensive coordinator. And they play in a tough division. I think the Falcons are going to be better. I don't think the Panthers are going to be very good. But, I think Tampa Bay can go about 9-7, make the wild card, but I don't see them running deep. They may win the wild card game, but I think they go out in the divisional round. And listen, I love Brady. I mean, I'm a big Brady fan. There's no doubt about that. The Giants will get there, and he does. I'm pulling for him. I do it all the time. It's business, people. You have to understand. If you knew my Tom Brady rookie card collection, you'd understand why I root for that guy to win Super Bowls, because when he wins, I win. So
I win. Money's green.
But, that's my thoughts on it, honestly. And I got to run upstairs real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, Mosh with the super chat. He says, cheers.
Hi.
Cheers to you too, bud.
What's up, Mosh?
What's up, Mosh?
I'm kind of
my
in
turn, huh?
agreement. I'm kind of in agreement with Bad Dog.
turn.
I think the Saints are a better team overall than the Bucks. I do think they'll sneak in. Like I think they'll sneak into the playoffs. I think they'll get there. I think against the upper echelons in the NFC that they're probably going to fall a little short.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Saints are the better team.
Yeah.
On paper, I think the Saints might be the best team in the sport, or that's why I had them going to the Super Bowl. But I think this could affect the locker room. I really do, and maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But I don't think the Bucs are a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I think they're
All right,
falling
so-
short. Goose? What do you think? Do you think they're falling
All right,
short,
well,
or do you think they get there?
So piggybacking. So I mean, if the Saints on paper are better than the Bucs. Seattle is better than Tampa. San Francisco is better than Tampa. So I don't see Tampa getting to the big dance. Even if the Saints, if the locker room distractions are big enough to cause not to win the division, but I think Tampa will make the playoffs for 2 reasons. 1, Tom Brady. 2, you're adding a playoff team. Now you have 7 teams in each conference now.
Mm-hmm.
So 8-8 will probably get you in the playoffs now. 9-7 will probably get you in the playoffs now. So I think Tampa will definitely get in the playoffs. I think they'll probably win the wild card round. But once they get in the division round, they have to play, Seattle on the road, Frisco, or the Saints. I just don't see them coming out on top of that because those teams are better on paper. But the Saints are better on paper, but can they are they really over it? Because if you go by Twitter, all the players say they forgave Drew Brees, but did they really forgive him? But like Bad Dog says, they all have a common goal. They want to win the Super Bowl. There's a lot of teams that won the big game. Players don't get along. They just get along for 16 games and then playoffs, and they go on their merry way. So, but hopefully the team can just come together come together every week and play as a team and let the chips fall as they may. So,
Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
Bob, you got a question for you.
Yes.
Who wins more games this year, the Patriots or the Bucks? Put you on the spot there.
So, how many wins did the Bucks have last year? Somebody
7.
7.
I think it was 7, 7-9, I believe.
Yeah, it was 7.
The Pats are gonna float around that 9-7, 8-8 mark, because I still think we're gonna split with our division because we never win down in Miami. We never the Dolphins in Miami for some reason. Belichick must go drinking with his buddies down in the clubs in Miami and lose his mind. Yeah, he goes down to the clubs in Miami and loses his mind, and then comes to the game. He's probably still drunk at the game, knowing him.
That's like the Saints in Tampa. We don't play good in Tampa historically. Go look. The Saints do not play good in Tampa Bay historically. No matter who the coach is there.
We're
going
gonna
to
split with the division. I as a Patriot fan will be surprised, like pleasantly surprised if they win double-digit games. Everybody in Vegas is putting them. Everybody in Vegas is putting them between 7-9 and 10-6.
I think you're going 10-6.
Belichick,
10-6, I think, is the ceiling. I made a bet with Rocha for $20 that when the Niners come to Foxborough, because they are playing in Foxborough this year, that we beat the Niners in Foxborough.
Well,
Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan Kyle Shanahan's gonna Kyle Shanahan, and he's gonna crap his pants, and Jimmy G will have no leadership, and they'll lose.
You know, Belichick will have a game plan for Garoppolo.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to just say that. That'll definitely be part of that game. I'm sure Belichick's going to do good against one of his former quarterbacks.
Oh God, yeah, of course. Garoppolo will have a terrible game there. Watch. I mean, the Pats' defense is still great. I mean, they were one of the best pass defenses in the league last year.
They had the best defense. They had the best defense in football.
Yeah. Do you personally want to know how they're going to ride this season out?
What's that?
Here's what they are going to win games 27-20, 2017. They're going to ride that defense this season for Pats fans is going to be a tractor pull of a season. It is. They're going to win games by 7 points or less because think about it. You lost you lost one of your biggest assets. And Brady was never the most athletic guy on the field. I think we can the guy was never the most athletic.
He was the least athletic guy in the field.
But he worked his ass off.
Brady's biggest weapon was his longevity and his mind. He'd seen everything. He said it like 6 years ago in an interview. He has the answers to the test. There's not a lot of defenses that confuse the guy. Like the longevity of being in the league that long and people trying to confuse him for so long, at some point you have the answers, a lot of the answers to the tests. So but you lost that. How many games did Brady's leadership help them win last year? I think a lot of them.
Of course. Yeah, a
lot. But at certain points, like me, I was watching some games and I was physically getting frustrated with them because Brady wouldn't throw to these guys because he wouldn't. He's like, quotation marks. They weren't in the circle of trust. They might have been open.
Brady didn't trust them, right?
But that's what I mean. He wouldn't like you just have to, as a quarterback, what do you got to do? It doesn't matter the read. You throw the open guy. Yeah. Throw the open guy.
Yeah, trust your receiver.
It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a check down or your first read. You throw the open guy, or it's.
Yeah.
There were times where he hurt him too. So.
You throw to a spot where your receiver can catch the ball, and you just hope they can make a play.
Baddog, to answer your question, I hope the Patriots.
I think the Patriots will win more games.
I hope.
I'm really interested in what Stidham does this year because a lot of people's theory is the Patriots are tanking. I don't believe that. You look at Bill Belichick. Belichick. How old is Belichick? How old is Belichick?
68.
Oh, 68.
They're 68. They're not tanking, and they had every opportunity in the world to draft a quarterback in the first round, or they could have signed one in free agency. They didn't elect to do that. So to me, I think Bill believes in Stidham. And I'm excited to see what Stidham does for the Patriots this year. I'm interested to see. A lot of people are writing him off. I think he's going to play pretty well.
He'll be just fine. Tom Brady did not have the best score coming out of college. There's no doubt. He went 199th overall. Belichick's going to get the most out of Stidham. That's what Belichick does. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is there. They will succeed. If they brought in Jameis Winston, I would have a huge, Goose, but I just want to say I'm a little jealous. You came back with that cold beer, and I'm sitting going, boy, that thing looks good, Goose. I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to have to grab a beer in a minute.
I had no beer here, but, that looked good.
No beer. Speaking of that, I already drank a 30-ounce Blue Moon, so I got to get me another one.
You got to get another one.
30-ounce.
Damn. You got some diet iced tea, man. That's how we roll. Gotta keep my bathing suit figure. It's
Yeah,
something, man.
I'm gonna have to grab a beer in a second. I think I got a Guinness upstairs.
I got a tan going. I'm ready. When the beach opens.
Let's see what we got here.
It's hot outside, man.
Zach says they'll find a way to trade up and draft. I don't know, Zach, because that's what I always say with Brady. And I some people call me a Brady hater, whatever. My thought process is the Patriots always get the most out of everybody, and nobody looks.
They're not going to tank.
Nobody looks at Brady because he's the quarterback and he's the guy that gets all the credit. But I think they got the most out of Brady, just like they got the most out of every player on their roster. Nate Solder, everybody, and I think they're going to get the most out of Stidham.
Yeah, and Brady's still
Yeah,
going to be great.
don't get max performance out of Stidham.
I would just want to say to Zach as well. Boomer Sooner, baby. Yeah, right.
I like I've been trying to tell Pats Nation for a long time now, like because I have a lot of there's a chunk, probably like 20% of the channel that is that 18, that 18 to 24,
they ain't seen
24
y'all
demographic.
suck.
Dude, so they've known nothing. That it's like you guys are in for a rude awakening. That Brady era is gone. It's gone. So you're gonna have to adjust. You can't physically expect. The years of AFC title game or Super Bowl every other year. Yeah. It's just not realistic anymore. I'm being 100% honest. It's just not realistic anymore.
It happens. I mean, it's ever since the Patriots have gone on this run, the Knicks have gone the complete opposite way. So maybe there's hope for the Knicks.
Hey, hope for the Knicks.
So that's a perfect segue into our next topic.
Which, by the way, I think Asia super chatted.
Yes,
earlier.
I did see it. She said, "Bobby, are you excited for the NBA coming back?"
You also got one from Coach K before that.
Coach K, hey, cheers to you too, bud. Here, I drink for you.
Drink for me too, huh?
You know what? I'm gonna go get a beer while you drink because now I'm getting jealous. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. This is the problem trying to keep that, just being very regimented about your diet.
That was
see, I'm in a shape. It's called round, and I really don't care and love it.
The last time
I eat, I drink, and I do what I want.
I got a 3-year-old, man. I ain't got no choice.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you got a little one running around.
Yeah, 10 years from now, he's gonna be 13. I'm gonna be 54, and I'm gonna be. I say it all the time. People are like, you gonna be able to keep up with your son? I'm like, nah, my son gonna have to keep up with me. Still. That's how
but you see, the funny part is you say that, and then at the end of the day, you're by 10 o'clock at night, you're like. The energy, it's like fumes. It's like that car running on fumes.
Oh no, Bobby, come on! You've seen my friend. My Lakers streams don't start till 10:30. I don't go to bed till after 1 o'clock.
That's because you're a freaking machine. And
the 24-hour stream, we get the fumes by the end of that. But going to bed at 1 in the morning, nah, that don't bother.
You're like the damn Terminator, dude.
That's why they all call me loons. Age always says, "Baddog, what's going on, you loon?" Yeah, I am. I am crazy.
Dude, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I tried getting up, at 4 o'clock in the morning doing the KBO games. I'm like, man, this is tough.
I gotta. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's.
Man.
So what was the next topic, by the way? I'm drinking Guinness.
Nice, good choice.
Can't go wrong with the Guinness.
Nope.
Screw all you guys.
The 75th stout, one of my 75th stout, one of my favorite beers from Guinness.
I ain't going into this. I ain't drinking this because it's Monday night. But
yeah,
Monday.
If it was Friday night, we may open it up a little bit.
Little 21-year Glenfiddich. I mean, that's
nice. We're not gonna have that. Like the last time we had a Friday stream, I drank 10 beers on a Friday night. I'm like, God, I woke up man, I had a headache.
I think me and Goose, between the two of us, drank 22, 23 beers.
Goose, we're not as young as we used to be. We're not.
It was a rough morning for me and Goose that morning.
We're not.
Dude, we're not in our 30s anymore, Goose. like these two young.
Yeah, if I was 25, I can do it, but no, not at
Oh,
40,
dude, I'm 34, and I feel it. Like you get like this, like you literally get 1 day of partying out of me, and I got to pick whether
So
it's Friday night or Saturday night.
Did you already turn 34, or you turned 35 this year?
I'm turning 35 in September.
So you and Entertainah are pretty much the same age. You're 2 months apart, and Goose and I are the same age, 2 months apart.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Wow, that is
How
pretty
weird is that? Goose is like 2 months older than me. You're like 2 months older than Chris.
So
that is crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, my birthday this year. I got a birthday this month. So
So you're a month older than me because my birthday's next month.
yeah, my June 22nd.
all right,
You're like a month younger than me. July
It's coming up.
27th.
Coming up.
all right.
Coming up.
Asia says, would you be upset if your Pats owner invest with A-Rod to buy the Mets? I always asked Chris what would your thoughts be? I don't know if Kraft, there's hesitation on the Bob Kraft side from what I've been hearing. There's hesitation because of the time management that it would take for him to actually run, to be a part of that, and run an organization like that. So he's hesitant he wouldn't have the time to do it.
Chris, what is that face? I'm just like,
Chris, Tana, how would you feel if Bob Kraft bought your team?
I would be ecstatic if anybody bought the Mets. The Wilpons are the worst owners in all of sports, as far as I'm concerned.
Worse than Dolan?
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. I would much rather have Dolan and Dolan sucks. Okay, Dolan's a jackass. He's embarrassed the Knicks organization with the players and everything else. But at least Dolan would spend money. Mm-hmm. And baseball's a sport where it's like capitalism. It's not like every other sport. What did you say?
The Mets have spent money.
But when they spend money, it's on short-term contracts. It's on 1, 2, 3 years.
It's never locking guys up long-term.
The last time they locked somebody up long-term was Carlos Beltran, and that was before the Madoff scandal. Now they look for, these 2 or 3 year deals. They'll pay you, like Cespedes, for example. They paid him $20 whatever million, but it was for 3 years. They don't go for the guys for 7 years.
That was smart, though.
In Cespedes, it was smart. It obviously was. It wasn't even good that they signed him to the deal that they did, but they've passed up on guys before because they're not willing to spend. So I cannot stand the Wilpons. I've been wanting to get rid of them for the last 10 years. So
can you let DeGrom walk? Let DeGrom walk.
Give him to us. Give him to us. We need him. Chris Sale's gone.
DeGrom's the only thing we got going for us. Our pitching staff.
Let him walk right over to the Bronx.
Yeah, and then and we'll intercept him and put his ass on a train and head south about 3 hours.
You know what was so funny about DeGrom? You go back, to 2013 when those pitchers were starting to come up. Matt Harvey, Matz, DeGrom, Syndergaard.
Yeah,
he was the one that was not talked about at all.
It was Harvey.
It was Harvey. It was Syndergaard, and it was even Matz. People were very high on Matz, and you heard nothing about DeGrom. DeGrom came up. Nobody even knew who the guy was. Turned out to be the best pitcher in baseball.
This group of guys is much better than Pulsifer, Paul Wilson, and Jason Isringhausen. You're old enough to remember that, Chris? That was the Mets. We got the 3 guys.
Generation K.
said that crap too with Jabba, Ian Kennedy, and Phil Hughes. They all suck.
Shout out to the sports expert for the $2 super chat. He says, I stream 5 to 6 KBO games a week now. Crazy, but a lot of fun.
It's fun.
Well, like I said, for me, I get up at 4:50 in the morning. I got to work all day. I
put Bad Dogs and Goose's KBO streams on, and I'll stick them in my. I got a little thing in the truck, and I listen to like podcast style. Them dude, because I'm up between 3 and 5 in the morning almost every morning.
Yeah, I'm not. But
so
yeah, me neither.
So y'all are like my morning entertainment. It's like morning radio, and I just listen to you guys while I drive into the city and deal with these.
I got to do it again this week. I got to wake up at 4 o'clock and do one.
I can't even do it Wednesday. I got to go back into the office Wednesday. So the day that I normally do it, I can't. Maybe I'll do it Friday.
Are they still doing the cardboard cutouts of the people?
They brought stuffed animals the last one I did. They had stuffed animals. And Batgirl was in there. She's like, whose stupid idea was to put the stuffed animals behind it? It's hilarious. Yeah, a bunch of stuffed animals in the stands.
Wow.
Asia's laughing. Asia wants DeGrom to come to the Bronx too. She does.
So let's shift gears a little bit. We did talk a little. Tana talked a little bit about speaking of Dolan. Let's jump into some basketball. So, do you guys like the format that they're rolling with, or?
Yeah, I'm just glad they're playing.
Yes.
There's no reason for those other teams to be there. Who cares? Just play your whatever it is. What are they going to play? 8 or 9 regular season games?
8 games, yeah.
So they will play 8 regular season games, and then they're going to start the playoffs. They're going to start the playoffs as they normally would, but 8 regular season games to end the season. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think like the teams that are on the bubble are going to be kind of cheesed off about. They're going to be kind of pissed about this because it's like you're only giving them. There's an 8-game window that they have to make a difference, and if you're close, you better win or you're done.
Yep.
So, Goose, do you like the format? Goose, do you like the format or do you not like?
I like the format. I like it. I think it's the best. The best thing that they could offer teams that were just on the cusp of getting that 8 seed. I think you had to be within 4 games, 3 or 4 games at the end of this 8-game schedule. I think you have a play-in tournament. So I think it's great. I think it's great. It'd be interesting to see how the Pelicans do. I mean, the Pelicans they'll have a chance to get that 8 seed. Now they're gonna have to win more games than the Trailblazers because of I think they play more games than us, so we have to have a better winning percentage than they do. So I think we have to win as many games as the Grizzlies. So it's gonna be tough. The Pelicans probably have to go 6-2 in this stretch. I think probably to guarantee to get in that play-in tournament. But I like it. I think it's the best. It's the best thing the NBA could have came up with. Just that was fair to the teams that were fighting for that last spot.
I agree with you though, Goose. I started a little earlier.
What's that?
I said I wish they would have started a little earlier, not so much.
Oh yeah. July 31st is too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to cut into the NFL.
I agree with that.
Tana, what do you think? What did you say, bro?
I said
they're going to push in. They're going to push into October when there's NFL going on, college football, especially in the South. Maybe. I mean, in the South down here with the Saints and LSU, I mean, I got to tell you that they're going to trump the Pelicans.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yep.
Yeah, that's for sure. But like Goose said, I think it's the best they could have done, and I think the NBA usually gets it right. I'll give the NBA credit. I think Adam Silver, I say it all the time, I think he's the best commissioner of the 4 sports. And I would
agree.
And I think it was the best. I think it was the best they could have done. I thought the NBA did what they had to do. They're playing it with no fans. What's going to be interesting to me, and the 8-game schedule is really interesting because it's almost like a playoff in itself. But the playoffs are going to be really interesting because I think basketball, more so than any other sport, the home court advantage is
home
huge.
Court.
And now you're not going to have that. So now you might see more upsets than usual, I think, in some of these series.
Right. I guess you'll see who the best team really is because it's on a neutral playing field, so to speak. So
what do you think, Baddog?
When's the playoff hockey? Anybody know the date of that?
I know they're going to do it
in July as well. They're coming back in July as well.
No, I love it. Like I said, I'm just glad that the NBA got it together, figured out a plan. Like Dave had a plan the entire time. I do wish they would have started maybe at the beginning of July. I don't know why they have to wait so long. July 31st. I think they could have started this. I know they're going to have a couple weeks. I mean, you've already come to an agreement. You could have been playing basketball starting next week for a couple weeks just to get your practicing for a couple weeks, then had your 8-game stretch. You could have started the playoffs at the beginning of July. So that's the only thing I think they could have started a little earlier. But I like that they're going to have your regular playoff format. Yeah. Like Chris said, made a great point that the 8 games is like a playoff in itself. It's almost like a little Robin tournament to see who gets that 8 seed. And it's going to be good. I think the Queen is at the top regardless. I know home court advantage works sometimes, but there's certain arenas that really comes into play.
But
I'm excited to see the NBA back. I mean, it's going to be fun to have playoff basketball. It's going to be fun to have playoff hockey. And let's hope baseball gets back together, and we can have some baseball too, and we can get all 4 sports back, even if it is without fans.
Yeah.
Because listen, 80,000 people may pack a football stadium, 20,000 people may pack the Staples Center, but how many millions of people watched on TV anyway?
Yeah.
So okay. We don't have that ambiance of turning up the crowd noise and everything, which would be a lot of fun. But I'm just glad it's back. I can't wait. I hate hurry in the summer. Everyone's like, I can't wait for football. I can't wait for. It's not me. The weather here in the Northeast is ass from November through April.
The thing is, though,
all year for May to get here, so I can sit back, fan in the window, sun setting late in the day. And me with a cold beer and the Yankees. That's right. I love that. And football gets here very quick because the summer flies by. And now I have to push the summer by because July 31st is pretty much, you're going into August, so the summer's coming to an end. But I can't wait now.
Yeah, and then you got preseason football right around the corner.
Exactly.
So
August, middle of August, preseason football.
Now, what I heard is now what the NBA is going to do, because they had to push everything back, they're going to start, I think it's next season and probably seasons going forward around Christmas time.
Yeah, I heard that too. They're going to start around Christmas, yeah.
So I think that's good because that pushes you through the summer if you're not a baseball fan. That gets you to preseason football. So I actually like that change.
So shout out to Asia Robertson again, with another super chat, $5 super chat. Thank you, Asia. Because you are awesome. Appreciate it. She says, if the NBA and NHL could come up with a compromise, why can't the MLB do the same thing? I want to work already. Sheesh.
Yeah, I mean, poor Asia. She works at City Field, so
she works at City Field, right?
Yeah, she's waiting for them to start.
Yeah. But basketball should start around Christmas time because that's
so. I want you guys' opinion on this. So this next one. Who do you think the 2 teams coming out of each conference are for the NBA? Who's coming out of the East? Who's going to play for the title for the West?
I mean, we know.
What do you got, Tanner? I mean, what do you got, Tanner? Who's coming? Who's gonna? Who are the 2 teams for each?
I'm gonna go chalk. I really am. I'm gonna go chalk here. In the West, I think it's either gonna be the Clippers or the Lakers, but I'm gonna go Lakers. And I'm going to go with the Bucks in the East. I think it's going to be chalk, and I actually think the Bucks might win. I think at this point, Giannis is the best player on the planet.
He's awesome.
I think that'll be a great NBA Finals. I think that'll be at least a 6 or 7 game Finals. But I think I'm going Bucks Lakers in the Finals.
Go ahead, Goose. What do you think?
Okay, well, before all this crap happened, I had the Clippers and the Bucks, and I'm going to stay with the Clippers and the Bucks, and I'm going to say the Clippers win the title. I think the even playing field will help out the Clippers when they play the Lakers because there's no home crowd advantage for the Lakers. I think the Clippers a little bit younger, maybe, but maybe a little bit. I don't know, but. I said the Clippers and the Bucks before everything got shut down. So I'm gonna stay with that. Say Clippers and Bucks.
What do you think, Baddog? Who you got?
West. I mean, come on, man. The Lakers are coming out. They should have beat the Clippers every game. I mean, twice they had. Maybe outside of opening night, Christmas they just didn't put their foot on the throat. They should have beat them on Christmas. They beat them the last time they played. The Lakers are the most well-rounded team. The only problem with the Lakers is their bench can be very inconsistent. Kyle Kuzma can have a night where he shows up, he has 24 points on 8 out of 10 shooting, and then he can have a night where he has 11 points on 3 out of 16 shooting. He's streaky. Same thing with Danny Green can be that way, but I still think that the Lakers with LeBron James, he's got all that experience there. Anthony Davis is a man possessed. You're going to have to get a lot of big minutes out of Dwight Howard. He disappeared after the All-Star break. He had a great first half. Then he was just kind of gone. I don't know what happened. But I still think the Lakers can outlast the Clippers. I do think that they're a better team. And in the East, we're not going chalk, Bobby. I told you this. We're going Lakers Celtics, baby. We're going old school right there. We're going back to my childhood in the 80s when they fought for it every year. I want, listen, my Knicks ain't there. So I want to see some old school stuff. I want to see Yankees, Dodgers. I want to see Lakers, Celtics. Let's go. Let's do it.
Now, should I let the inner Bostonian in me come out and just say fuck all you fuck all the Lakers, and we're gonna win the title, or should I be objective about this?
Yeah, it's your channel. You do
It
whatever
is
you
my
gotta
channel,
do.
so fuck the Lakers. The Celtics are winning the title. So how about that?
Man,
No,
Celtics and Lakers,
I will
man.
say this: the biggest challenge for the Celtics, Baddog, just like the Lakers, the Celtics bench is incredibly streaky. If they get hot at the right time, it's going to be huge. Gordon Hayward needs to not turn into a ghost and disappear. That dude has got to play like he was playing in Utah for them to make it to the title,
Right.
for them to make it past Milwaukee. Milwaukee's going to – it's the two teams coming out of the East are the Celtics and the Bucks. They're gonna fight it out again. They're gonna fight it out for who goes, and Giannis has crushed the Celtics. He has absolutely crushed the Celtics. He's taken them apart. They have no they try to double and triple team him, and he's quick. He gives the ball up, and he gives the ball up to Lopez or Bledsoe in the corner, and the Bucks are streaky as well. Those if their 3-point shooters get hot, if they go on runs, they're tough to beat. It's if the Celtics beat the Bucks, I think they have a legitimate shot against the Lakers or the Clippers.
You know
The Clippers, if the Clippers make it past the Lakers, I think the Clippers will beat the Celtics.
Well, I'll tell you, the Nuggets are a really good team too. That's a sleeper in the West. The Nuggets are really good.
They don't
they're
have
good at home.
to me, they don't have the surrounding cast. They don't have the
And they don't have the home court advantage either right now.
Well, that's true. Well, I'll tell you what else Giannis does better than anybody else. He travels. I have never in my life seen LeBron travels, but look, I swear to God, Giannis takes 3 steps on every spin move. He takes 3 steps. He travels more than Jordan, LeBron, Ewing. He travels more than all of them combined. He travels more than anybody I've ever seen in my life. He takes the ball from the 3-point line and doesn't dribble and gets to the hoop. That's impossible. I know he's the Greek freak and everything, but come on, man. That guy takes more freaking steps than one of them power walkers going through the mall.
But it's like I realized, like, I just the Celtics, do they have a shot? They have to beat the Bucks. If they beat the Bucks and they can at least get to the finals, I think the Clippers would overpower them. I do. I think their Clippers are too good for them. I think they match up way better against the Lakers.
I agree with that.
I think they match up much better against the Lakers than they do the Clippers. I think Kawhi and the surrounding cast that he has would take them apart.
So what do we have with the Lakers Celtics? Those Celtics blew the Lakers out in Boston, and the Lakers blew the Celtics out in LA. Right? That's where that happened this year.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's a damn good player, man. I like Jason Tatum a lot.
Tatum,
He's good.
The one thing about Tatum that drives me nuts, he cannot finish under the hoop. The guy will miss 8 layups a game. I will pull my hair out and lose my mind because the dude will drive and do a Dr. J style dunk on LeBron James, one play, right? And then he'll steal the ball and have a breakaway, and nobody's within 10 yards of him, and he misses the layup.
Sounds like Charles Smith.
I literally just want to take my remote and throw it at my television.
That's why I don't have hair. I pulled it out in 93. It never came back. Stupid Charles Smith. I'll never live that down. 93, just it makes me nauseous.
But you know what I mean? It's Tatum is a great player, but he has those easy the easy buckets are the ones that cost you.
Those are the ones that they miss, man.
You miss those easy buckets, and it can cost you a game.
Yeah.
How many times the Lakers or you see these good quality teams, they miss free throws down the last 5 minutes of a game, and it costs them the game. They like you
Free
have to
throws.
make those easy ones. You
And
have
that's
to.
one thing that LeBron has got to get better at. I mean,
Free
I don't
throw.
remember. I think it was the game. I can't remember the game in Indiana. I think it was against the Pacers that he missed free throws, crucial free throws down the stretch, and ended up losing the game. Now, this is a big
done
reason
that in his
I've always
career.
said that Jordan is better, is because I always like Jordan was more clutched, in my opinion. I know LeBron has a lot of game winners, but man, I'd rather have Jordan at the line down the stretch. Jordan was a much better free throw shooter.
Absolutely.
LeBron's
Jordan-
got to
Jordan
tighten
hit
that up. He's got to tighten that up.
Jordan,
They're going to foul him. And he needs to drive to the hoop. And if he's driving to the hoop, you're going to foul him and say, all right, you're going to earn your points. So he's got to make his free throws in that counter. I've watched him miss some big free throws. Lakers have missed some big free throws. They got to get better at that. That's one thing that could definitely hurt them against the Clippers. They miss free throws against the Clippers. They're not beating the Clippers. They have to play really solid basketball. They can't make mistakes against them or they will lose.
Now, I want to ask the two of Baddog and Entertainah. I want to ask the two of you a question. Can the Knicks rebuild? Like, can they get back to the days of the, you know what I'm talking, the Ewing, like the prime Ewing days and in contention? Can they ever get back to that? Like, there's been years where I've seen they're trying, like they make some good moves, and it's I don't know. Like, you guys are the Knicks fans, so can they ever get back to those days?
Here's what I'll say, man, and it's not just with the Knicks, it's with New York in general. It is very hard to rebuild in New York. It's very hard because the fan base is super demanding. We see it with the Giants. We've seen it with the Mets. We've seen it with the Yankees. But the Knicks have always tried to take shortcuts, I think due in large part to the fact that they have pressure, especially the NBA being a star-driven league. If you get one or two stars, it could flip your team. And they've always tried to do that, whether it was Zach Randolph, Stephon Marbury, Carmelo Anthony, so on and so forth, Amari Stoudemire. And they're finally doing it right. Now, the question is, can they remain patient and can they hit on the draft picks? Now, they traded away the only draft pick they've really hit on, in terms of a superstar since Patrick Ewing with Kristaps Porzingis because he wanted out of there. And they ended up getting nothing. They got 2 late first-round draft picks. The cap space amounted to nothing because Tim Hardaway would have came off the books by now. And the same for Courtney Lee. So the cap space was irrelevant. Everybody they signed was on 1 or 2 year deals. So that trade was a disaster. But I recognize that they had to get rid of him. He was demanding a trade, whatever it was, and they got what they could. But it's going to come down to drafting, and that is the encouraging thing up to this point for me, that the Knicks have not tried to take the shortcut, but they have to hit on their draft picks. I think they hit on R.J. Barrett. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but I think he's going to be a very good player. Mitch Robinson looks promising, but they're not close yet. They got to hit on this draft pick this year and probably the following year, and then maybe you start to bring in free agents. But we're at least 2 years away, in my opinion, before we're even discussing being any kind of contender. But I will say it's been refreshing to see that they have not been taking shortcuts as of late, but they continue to have turnover with the general manager and the coach and everything else. So we'll see who the head coach is. I'm not going to hold my breath. They have not been a competitive team for 20 years. So, outside of that 1 or 2 years stretch with Carmelo. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but I do like what they've been doing.
See, the cat made it.
Hey, this is my show, you fuck.
Yeah, do it, man.
Don't. This is my show. Don't.
He's like, I'm just gonna hang out right here.
Don't try and steal my thunder, you furry asshole.
Yeah. The Knicks, once Dolan gets out of there, maybe things change. The Knicks are too dysfunctional. They have too much turnover, no stability. Not only are they bad, they're unlucky. I mean, number one, the 1 year that they kind of should have just finished out the season poorly. They won 2 of their last 3 games and ended up losing out on Karl Anthony Towns and ended up with Kristaps Porzingis. They should have had Karl Anthony Towns in the draft. This year, I hate that they don't show the lottery pick. I don't know why that's so secretive. Show the stuff coming out.
Show it.
But they don't. The Knicks, they don't get the first pick. So they miss out on Zion, which we would have killed for Zion. They don't get the second pick, so you miss out on John Morant. Get the third pick. Get R.J. Barrett. He's a nice pick. He's not Zion Williamson. So on top of being bad, we have bad luck. Then because this team is so dysfunctional, because this team is so bad, we miss out on big free agents. Kevin Durant, he ain't coming here. Goes to Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving, he ain't coming here. Goes to Brooklyn. We end up with guys like Julius Randle. This is the problem with the Knicks, that they get second tier and they didn't overpay these guys this time at least. But they usually get second, third tier free agents and pay them the max. They have bad contracts. They don't draft well, and they're unlucky. They have to just stick with some of these young players and stop moving them and stop having different coaching staff every year, turning over 90% of your roster every year, having a different president, a different GM. You got to have some stability, which is what we talk about with the Giants. How guys are like, if we're bad,
patience
to go.
Patience with these young kids. Patience with the young kids.
Gotta be stable, because if you're not stable, man, what are you doing? You're not going to build anything if you keep throwing things away.
Yeah.
So you keep starting over every year. That's the problem with the Knicks.
Yeah. And it's ownership. I mean, we've had some of the best coaches the league has to offer come in here, and they couldn't get it done, right? Whether it was Brown, whether it was Lenny Wilkins, a number of others. D'Antoni. We've had a number of very successful head coaches come in here. They haven't gotten it done, and I think the ownership is the biggest reason. I think everybody agrees with that because you go back to Carmelo. We were getting ready to be a competitive team. That Amari Stoudemire team was fun. Now, Stoudemire definitely went down with an injury, so who knows what would have happened. But Donnie Walsh cleared up all that cap space. He got rid of all those bad contracts, and then ownership stepped in, and they forced Donnie Walsh to make the trade for Carmelo.
Terrible trade, too.
They got rid of my boy.
They got rid of my boy.
Yep. I remember that. I remember that trade.
Yeah, Donnie Walsh didn't want to make the trade. And
they got rid of Wilson Chandler. They got rid of Mozgov. They got rid of draft picks. They got rid of
Raymond Felton.
Yeah, Fat Ray. Fat Ray.
He wasn't fat at that time.
I know, but Fat Ray and Murray had a nice chemistry.
Yeah.
Felton and Stoudemire played very well together. And that Knicks team was very competitive and very good. And then they traded away all their young talent for Carmelo, who played not a lick of defense.
Carmelo, yeah.
And did that whole, jab step, force it up with 3 seconds on a shot clock, fading away in triple coverage. Brick. That was Melo.
Yeah. But I'm with you, Bad Dog. Until ownership realizes that they got to stay out, and to his credit, thus far they have not taken shortcuts. So I'm going to try to be optimistic. But they got a new coach now, everything's new again. So
let's get Carl Anthony Towns in here and turn it around, Chris.
Yeah, hopefully we hit on some draft picks.
Shout out to Coach K. He says the Knicks the Knicks need Aldridge and DeRozan. Would you take Aldridge and DeRozan from San Antonio?
Aldridge got hurt. He's done for the year.
I want no part. I want no people talking about
Aldridge. Don't want to come here anyway. He already turned the Knicks down.
People talking about Chris Paul. I don't want that. Keep them the hell away from the Garden. Keep tanking. Keep tanking. Getting good draft picks. Because the only way you're going to be able to attract the cream of the crop in free agency, the supreme young superstars, the guys that we actually want to come here, you got to have a strong, sturdy foundation of players that you drafted. So the Knicks have to hit on these draft picks. There's no shortcuts.
Agreed.
Now, I have an interest, so we'll switch back to football for this one. I got two more questions. First one. After Brady and Brees retire, which will probably be in 2 years, right? A year or two. Who are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? Who's the top 5 echelon? Who's the elite quarterbacks of this generation that we're watching now?
After Brady and Brees?
After Brady and Brees retire. Say Brady and Brees have retired. I want you guys to name me the top. Take the top 5. Tana, I'll start with you.
Pat Mahomes is obviously on there in the top 5.
We're back.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, I think in 2 years will still be in the top 5. I don't know if he's going to have the long-term success of other quarterbacks, but in 2 years, I still think he'll be in the top 5. Trevor Lawrence, I think, could be in the top 5. He's been one of the most talked about prospects in forever. So I'm going to say, because of his youth, over the next 5 years, after the next 2, I think he could be in the top 5. So I'll say those 3. And I'm trying to think of some younger. I'm not a big believer in Garoppolo. I want to say Jones, but I'm trying to be unbiased. Let me think. Let me think of some other quarterbacks that have been drafted early that are young.
In 2 years, I put Jones at 7 or 8. In this league, if he continues on the current track, that's where I'm putting him.
Some people would say Kyler Murray. I'm sure Bad Dog will. I'm not going to say Darnold. I'll say Burrow. You know what? I'll say Burrow. I'll say Burrow. If Cincinnati can give him the proper support, I'll say Burrow. I believe in Burrow. I think he's a really good quarterback. I'll say Lawrence, Burrow, Mahomes, Jackson, and I'll be a homer and I'll go with Daniel Jones.
Dude, in 2 years, you can't tell me if his line keeps improving that he can't at least get close.
Yeah.
He's gonna be close.
What do you think, Bad Dog?
There's no doubt Mahomes is there. He's the best quarterback in football right now. I still think Russell Wilson will be a top 5 quarterback in a couple of years.
Yeah, you're right. Russell Wilson, I should have had on there. You're right.
He's still incredible. I think Lamar Jackson will be there as well. I really like Deshaun Watson, but he's in such a crappy. If he can get away from Houston,
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson will be a top 5 quarterback in this league. But if he's in Houston, he's not going to be.
put him in the red, white, and blue.
What's that?
We'll take him.
Oh, oh God, and the Patriots. I mean, listen, Deshaun Watson's one of the most talented.
Bill O'Brien's stupid enough to do it.
Ridiculous. Yeah, for like a third rounder. I mean, he's one of the most talented quarterbacks I've seen. I loved him at Clemson. I love Deshaun Watson. He's probably my favorite player in the NFL right now.
Belichick would offer O'Brien a Snickers bar for Watson, and he'd take it.
If he's healthy, Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback in this league. I hate the Eagles, but Carson Wentz is really good. So yeah, I mean, what'd I say? So we got Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz if he's healthy. And I mean, yeah, Kyler Murray, Chris. What the hell? We got.
So Goose, after Brady and Brees leave,
real
who's
quick?
the top 5, man?
Sam
Well, you
Darnold.
gotta have Pat Mahomes because
Bottom 5.
gotta have Pat Mahomes. I mean, he's probably the best quarterback right now in the league. 2, I agree with Russell Wilson. I agree. I think Wilson he's good. See 3, 4, and 5. I might surprise some people with these picks. So after, let's say Lamar Jackson. There's 3, and 4 and 5. You know what? I'm gonna go Kyler Murray, and then I'm gonna be a homer and say.
I knew you.
I mean, well, I'm trying to say are we talking like next year? Because I think they're gonna. I think Brees and Brady at the next year they're going.
Yeah,
We're talking like next year.
I'm talking after the Brady Brees era is gone. Who are the top?
Who's
5?
the next crop? Right? Who's the next crop? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I got Mahomes. I have Russell Wilson. I have
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I had Burrow as well, and I had Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be legit.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is Justin Fields.
I will say this about Lawrence: if he turns out like whoever gets him is gonna get that's a good quarterback there.
I mean, he's good. He's very good.
So mine would be I'm gonna have Mahomes is just something else. That dude is ridiculous. In my opinion, Mahomes could get $45 million a year. $45 million a year easy.
He's going to.
Yes, absolutely.
He could possibly be 47, maybe even a $50 million guy if they overextend. But like the offer that they are going to give him to keep him in Kansas City is going to be stupid.
Oh, he's getting a lot of money, a lot.
It's going to be stupid. So I'll go Mahomes and Russell Wilson. Like, how many years has he? Like, as long as I've watched him, that dude will put an entire team on his back and literally carry them to a victory.
Yeah,
and I've seen him do it on a half dozen occasions where they've needed him in the fourth quarter, and he's literally been the whole team.
Yeah, he runs when he has to.
Just him making things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Russell Wilson's definitely on there.
So I would go Mahomes. I would go Russ. I would have to go. I I don't know. Like, I don't have a lot of faith in Tana. I'm with you. The Super Bowl showed me that if Shanahan doesn't have faith in Garoppolo to let him manage the final 10 minutes of that game and win them the game, then that showed a lot to me. Basically, so I can't put him in there. It's tough because like the next coming like running like I hate to do it because I'm not a believer in running quarterbacks. I hate to do it. So I'll put Lamar Jackson at 5 because like I still think he's going to be kind of good, but so I'll put him in there.
It's a big year for him.
And if Burrow's offensive line can protect him, I'll put him at 4. And I need one more, right?
One more.
I'll go Deshaun Watson at 3 because I do, even though his head coach is an absolute buffoon, I still think skill. I think Bill O'Brien is
very good, man.
Moronic. I think that dude would trade players for Snickers, for candy bars, like for cents on the dollar. He like you traded that Deshaun. Like I read that Deshaun Watson trade on Twitter and literally couldn't say anything for like a half a minute because I was just like, "You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot."
Hopkins trade me. Hopkins trade.
The Hopkins trade from Houston. Like you're an idiot. Like you're an idiot.
Yeah. I was like, what they did what?
So I'll put Deshaun Watson in there because I really do like his skill set and the ability that he does have to make things happen. So it would go Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson,
Joe Burrow,
and then
Lamar Jackson
at 5. Okay. That's how I would go with that.
I think we have very similar lists.
I worry about Joe Burrow. He wasn't good at LSU until last year. I mean, Goose, you could speak to this better than anybody about Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you think he'll be in the NFL?
I mean, I think at Seattle, at Cincy, he has some good receivers. But last year he had the kind of offense that kind of showed what he could do. He didn't have that in 2018. They didn't run that kind of offense. So, but that offensive line is not very good with the Bengals. So if they can't protect him, he won't be very good. But I mean, they got some good players outside the O-line at Cincy, but
They're getting their old. They drafted. I can't remember his name. They drafted a first-round offensive lineman in 2019. He got hurt before the year started. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Jonah Williams, right? So
I don't follow Cincinnati at all.
Yeah, Jonah Williams, I think, was like the 13th overall pick in 2019, and he got hurt before the year started. He was the first tackle taken, so they're getting him back. But yeah, I agree that that needs to be the focal point of that team going forward. They got some good receivers, like you said. They got Higgins and they got AJ Green, but
I love T. Higgins.
Yeah, but they got to improve that offensive line.
They do.
Well, they got
you got T. Higgins, AJ Green,
running back too.
Yeah, Mixon's a good running back.
So Joe Burrow has talent, at the receiver and the running back. It's just when he was here, especially last year, he had like 8 seconds slow to football. If you have 8 seconds slow to football, you're gonna find somebody open.
Yeah, I saw all I wanted to see of Joe Burrow in that playoff game.
When nobody
George 7 touchdowns and a half. Yeah, he embarrassed Oklahoma.
And a half. He had 7 touchdowns and a half.
If OU's D could actually become half of what their offense is, they would be dangerous. They would be dangerous. Absolutely.
They would. They definitely would.
Nobody plays defense in the Big 12.
That's the Big 12. The Big 12 really is not a defensive.
No, not at all. Which is why I tell people, unless the receivers out of the Big 12 have the skill set of a CeeDee Lamb, they're not going to succeed. Like Jets fans are high on Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims will not be a very good receiver. And Philadelphia Eagle fans, of course, they're high on everybody, but they think Jalen Reagor coming out is going to be amazing. He won't be. They play against the weakest secondaries in the Power Five. Unless you are amazing, you fail.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare. Now, Corey Coleman's been hurt most of his career, but he's failed at a Baylor. Josh Doxson failed at a TCU. Ryan Broyles from Oklahoma failed with the Lions. They don't play well at the next level because you're going against the best corners in the league. And you see when Oklahoma has to play against a team like LSU or Alabama, they shut that offense down a lot of times because the defense is a lot better. And that's not an NFL defense. So these Big 12 receivers, everybody's like, oh, yeah, Jalen Reagor, he runs really fast. So does Derek Taylor. It means nothing. You know?
All right, so we're gonna do Asia Robertson's question because I think it's a good one, and then we're gonna do one more Giants related question for all three of you gentlemen, and then we are gonna end the show because I gotta get up in 4 hours.
Bobby's pulling the Baddog shift.
That's a problem.
Pulling the Baddog shift.
Oh, see, but here's the my father owns the company, and I sent him a text at like 7:00 tonight. Production's going to be down for the first 4 hours of work today. So I politely informed him that we may not reach the quota of what we're supposed to get tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
That's
so,
right. You're entitled to a day
but this
off.
is a good question though. Asia says, and thank you for the $5 super chat, Asia. She says, "Do you see the Cap coming back? Do you see Cap coming back to play football after the Goodell apology?" I don't know. I don't know.
Man, he's been out of the league a long time now.
Yeah, long time.
It's a big risk. I think he's been out of the league too long. I think once you're out of the league for 1 or 2 years, you lose a lot of that.
How long are you out of the league now? 5 years?
It's been like 4 or 5 years.
I think it's too. I think it's too long. I think he's been out too long to come back in. I really do.
He was fading before this entire kneeling thing. Anyway,
he has been. He was fading.
He started to decline. His first 3 years, he was really good. I loved Kaepernick. I was such a huge Kaepernick fan. When I sat there, I mean, I blew Kaepernick up. I thought Cap was. I'm like, this guy's a better Randall Cunningham. That's who he reminded me of. And then all of a sudden, he just had a hard time reading defenses. He stopped running the way he did.
Yeah.
He just I don't know what happened to him. I don't, because he was so that Super Bowl.
He has talent.
God, he had such a strong arm, and I loved him in Nevada. This is where I fell in love with Kaepernick, was watching him play in Nevada. Because again,
Nevada.
Before streaming, Bad Dog Don't Sleep. It's Thursday. It's 11 o'clock at night. You know, what am I going to watch? And I didn't have a child here at the time, but my wife said, "We're not going to." Oh, look at Nevada's playing Boise State.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Nevada's playing Boise State. Might
Nevada's
as well.
playing Montana, or they're playing Colorado State. Oh, look at Nevada's on again.
Right, exactly.
Kaepernick. This is how I fell in love with the Sooners, because I wanted to watch Adrian Peterson play every week. But I really liked Kaepernick in Nevada, and I was a huge fan. But he started to kind of, I don't know what happened to his game. I still can't figure out what happened to him.
The decline was so fast. The decline was so fast. It was. Because he in the beginning, he was like Russell Wilson with speed.
Right, he was unstoppable.
Yeah, he was good.
He had an Elway-like arm. I mean, he threw the ball hard as hell. He had all the tools to be a great NFL quarterback. He just had a hard time reading defense. His accuracy was not very good either. But
yeah.
I don't know. He was fun to watch.
Yeah.
So my final question for you three fine gentlemen
All right.
I'll start with the Entertainah Talkin Sports. Does Eli get in? Does he get his gold jacket? Does he get into Canton?
Oh yeah, is the Pope Catholic? Yeah, Eli Manning is Eli Manning's getting into Canton, and the only, in my opinion, I say this all the time, the only reason that he won't get in first ballot, And I completely get that. You know, when you look back over the course of history, there's a lot of great quarterbacks who did not get in first ballot. So I admit that he will not get in first ballot, and I kind of admit that he shouldn't when you look at some of the guys that have had to wait a few years. But when you look at some of the guys that are in there, he's just as good, if not better, than at least 5 or 6 quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Warner being one of them, the guy that he replaced in 2004. So, yeah, I think Eli Manning will definitely be a Hall of Famer. It might take 4 or 5 tries, but he's going to get in. I think the only reason why it's a debate is because he played in New York, the media scrutiny, I think because of his last name, Manning, and he did go on 2 magical Super Bowl runs, but that's a huge part of his legacy. And it wasn't just one game. You're talking about a 4-game stretch on the road for a lot of it, beating some of the best quarterbacks who ever played the sport, as clutch as nails. And he's top 10. I think he's 7th or 8th in yards and touchdowns. Incredibly durable, tough guy. Did it in the toughest place to play in terms of the media scrutiny and everything else, the windy conditions. Eli Manning's absolutely a Hall of Famer. I don't even know why it's a debate at this point. You look at a guy like Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman had 1 season where he threw for 20 touchdowns. He had 3 Super Bowls. People didn't bat an eye. It wasn't even a debate of whether or not he should get into the Hall of Fame. And the only reason why it wasn't a debate is because of his Super Bowl accomplishment. So in the NFL, yeah, the Super Bowl titles are definitely a reason to make the Hall of Fame, especially when you're a quarterback. And Eli Manning belongs there. You can't tell the story of the NFL without Eli Manning. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Baddog, what do you think? You think he gets his gold jacket?
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he should be because, number one, the class that he's going to be going up against is weak. Number 2, he's one of 5 quarterbacks in the history of football to win 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Okay, Bart Starr did it. He's in the Hall of Fame. Terry Bradshaw did it. He's in the Hall of Fame. Montana, Brady, and Eli. And there you go. There's your quarterbacks. And Aikman did not do that. Aikman only won 1 Super Bowl MVP. Aikman had 165 touchdowns, 141 picks in his career. That's terrible. He never threw more than 22 touchdowns in any season. And like Chris said, they didn't bat an eye. They didn't bat an eye at all. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowl MVPs, had a terrible freaking team for the back half of his career. What Hall of Famers did Eli Manning play with on offense? None.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 more. Maybe. Tiki should be a Hall of Famer. I don't know why Tiki's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's the closest to a Hall of Fame player that he had, and he won no Super Bowls with Tiki. But what Eli did was come up big when it mattered. The guy never missed a game due to injury. He obviously got pulled out because of, McAdoo. That has a lot to do with it. Yes, his last name is Manning, but he played way better than the Super Bowls than his brother did. His brother never played a good Super Bowl in his life. He lost Super Bowls, and the 2 that he won, he didn't have really good games, especially that one. That was disgraceful how poorly he played against. So to me, again, if he's not first ballot, there's no way he doesn't get in. Guys like Bob Greasy are in the Hall of Fame. Bob Greasy's numbers are terrible. Yeah. Joe Namath's numbers are terrible. I know he's in a different era, but my God, they're bad. Troy Aikman's numbers are not good. So, yeah, he's first ballot.
South of Heaven, otherwise known as Mosh, said that. He said Manning has better stats than Kurt Warner. Wow. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, Manning's got way better stats. And Kurt Warner only had a couple really good seasons with the Rams.
Warner, he won what? One ring?
One ring, yep. And then he almost won with the Cardinals. Well, he almost won 2 with the Rams. I mean, they lost to the Patriots, which started that. And started my Tom Brady collection going that way. I was happy for the Patriots. I mean, I love Bill Belichick. I mean, that's my guy. I was growing up in the 80s. He was the reason that our defense. I mean, it helps to have Lawrence Taylor, but his defense is matched. And Belichick was a big reason. So, there's no doubt. And like Chris said, it's not a debate. It's not a debate. The guy is top 10 in touchdowns. He's top 10 in completions. He's top 10 in yards, and he has the hardware. There's no way the guy is not a Hall of Famer. I don't even know why people say, Eli's overrated. It's the funniest statement I've ever heard in my life is Eli's overrated. And I say this all the time on my channel. How the hell can somebody be overrated when you do nothing but hate on him? You don't talk about nobody ever talks about how great Eli Manning was. They always talk about, he's lucky.
Eli catches a lot of hate.
Eli Manning is underrated as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Yeah.
The first half of his career, Kevin Gilbride had the guy throwing 20, 30, 40 yards down the field every time he dropped back.
Yeah. And the other common misconception, at least in my opinion, especially for the second Super Bowl, is people always say he was carried. You go back, you look at that team. We had the 32nd ranked rushing offense in the NFL that year, and I think we had the 27th ranked. Yeah,
30th ranked defense.
We had a horrible defense in the regular season. We had the worst running attack in the regular season. Eli Manning, at least for the regular season, I admit that during the playoffs the defense turned up, but he had to get them there. Eli Manning, for that year where they won the Super Bowl, had the worst supporting cast in NFL history for a quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but yet people have this agenda out against him, and they continue to say he was carried for both of his 2 Super Bowl runs.
Hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
How many points did they put up in Lambeau? And not to mention that they should have won that game like 48-6. The officials gave the Packers.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on that.
He destroyed the Packers. He destroyed the Falcons. He had a great game against the Falcons. He had a great game against the and against San Francisco, against the toughest defense in the league, getting knocked down every time he dropped back. He threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and did not turn the ball over one time. He had 8 touchdowns and 1 interception in that run for winning the Super Bowl in 2011. People don't know anything about Eli Manning. They just want to hate on the guy. The guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy's all heart, all character, all toughness, all grit, all clutch. He's got everything that you want in a quarterback. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
I agree.
So
Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer.
let me get to 1 or 2 things real quick. Rich says Tom Brady is Eli Manning's bitch. Rich, I will drive to Connecticut and fight you. Secondly, thank you, diehard Giants fan, for the super chat. $5 super chat. It says, great stream, guys. Eli is 100% a Hall of Famer. Numbers don't lie. Yeah. Facts. Goose, on to you, bro. What do you think, man?
Eli is 100% a Hall of Famer. And I will go a step further and say Eli is better than his brother.
Wow.
That I won't say.
Because look, I saw Eli take an Ole Miss football team in 2003 and almost beat LSU. When LSU had a lot more talent than Ole Miss did. Eli was Ole Miss when he was there. If you old enough to remember, go back and look. He was the reason why they won. There wasn't much talent on that football team besides Eli Manning. When Peyton was at Tennessee, he had a lot more talent on that football team than Eli did. I always thought Eli was going to be better coming out of college, going to NFL than Peyton was. I thought that back when they first came in the league, and I still think that. I still think Eli was better than Peyton Manning.
Well, Peyton did have a better supporting cast in the NFL, that's for sure.
Because if you go back and look what Eli did with Ole Miss, he was the team. It was him.
What this reminding me of right now, or kind of making me think of
Daniel Jones.
Sounds like Daniel Jones. Exactly.
Eli was the team at Ole Miss.
Exactly.
They don't get the talent like LSU does, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Ole Miss doesn't get that. And just look at what they did when he was there. He's won 2 rings. He's getting in. Everybody says he's overrated. Come on, seriously, really? He's not overrated.
I knew there was a reason I liked him.
Look, he went to Ole Miss. I don't really like the guy too much, Eli, but he's a good quarterback. I think he's better than Peyton.
Definitely more clutch than Peyton.
Yeah, I'll give you the clutch one. He's more clutch than Peyton. I'll go there.
Peyton had a bunch of chances to beat the Patriots on the road in the playoffs, and he couldn't get it done.
All right.
But now they got Arch Manning. They got Archie's grandson, Arch Manning, that's down here in Newman High School. It's going to be a big.
What kind of name is Arch?
Arch Manning, yeah, Arch Manning.
Just say
Archie. They just took the E off of it. They just took the IE off of Archie.
Yeah, that's a parent being lazy, just being like, yeah, write what you want on the birth certificate. We're good.
Because Cooper was the older brother, and he was really good. Mm-hmm. I think he was a receiver.
Yeah,
he got hurt. He hurt his neck, and he had to quit football. So
yeah.
So,
What you
Listen
think,
up.
Bobby? I know you like Eli Manning.
Bobby loves Eli.
first of all, that's for you, Goose. Do you know how much heartburn Eli has caused me during those 2 Super Bowls? Because not only here, I'll give you some reasons why Eli's getting in, and not only is he getting in, he's getting in on the first try.
Oh yeah, he's getting it.
That 18-1, and that fucking pains me to say that 18-1.
18-1.
He beat the dynasty. He beat the Patriots dynasty not once but twice. And the balls it took to throw that ball to Tyree.
How about the balls it took to throw the ball to Manning at first play on the drive?
Best throw you ever seen in a
But
Super Bowl.
I'm getting, dude. I'm telling you, I'm getting there. The nuts, the balls that it took to make those throws on that game-winning drive, and dude, just balls of steel. The guy has nerves. He's the Iron Man. He like nerves of steel. The whole drive, and that toss to Burris in the back of the end zone to win that, to go ahead and win that.
Good idea.
Like done. That game was. And then not only did he do it once, and he won the MVP because he was the MVP,
Right.
because Eli was the heart and soul of not only that team, but that whole freaking city that year. He did it again, a second time, the same fashion. One drive to beat the dynasty, and that dude said fuck the Pats, and he went out there and drove the team down and scored again and beat them twice. And he stuck that, he said take your, he took that Lombardi trophy and said, give me that. The dude has nerves of freaking steel.
Great. He's a good quarterback. Great quarterback.
You put
Great
any other quarterback in the guy has nerves of steel, and he beat the greatest dynasty in this generation twice, and he won the MVP doing it. Those 2 Lombardis alone are going to get him in there in the fashion in which he did it. No fear at all. The dude was on the field directing his troops, and he went down and drove him down twice and listen to how Belichick talks about Eli Manning, and you'll believe me, first ballot. He's getting in first ballot. There's no freaking question about it. Listen to the way Bill Belichick talks about Eli and how he handled those final 2 drives. Done. He's getting in, and I'm a Patriot fan, and that pains me. It hurts my freaking soul to say that. But I have a healthy respect for both of those teams, and Eli for years. Not only those 2 years, the 2011 year was incredible. What he did in 2011 was insane. Was incredible.
Yeah.
Like the dude. How can you cannot not put that dude in the Hall of Fame? He's been the heartbeat of a city since he got there. Like that dude is the team.
Yeah.
That dude ate, slept, and he is the Tom Brady of that team. That dude is the heartbeat of that team. There's no way he's not getting into the Hall of Fame first try. There's no freaking way.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the New York Giants failed Eli Manning. At the end of the day, the only reason why this is even a debate is because of Jerry Reese. That's just facts. The New York Giants failed Eli Manning over the second half of his career. It's not his fault that they couldn't support him with the foundation that he needed to be successful. He was arguably the best quarterback on the planet in 2011. What he did with that team, and then he just fell off the map. That doesn't just happen for no reason. The New York Giants failed him. That offensive line was ready to crumble. They were crumbling that year, and Jerry Reese was not able to support him for the second half of his career. And if they were able to do that, and everybody forgets, by the way, Eli Manning should have 3 Super Bowls, if not more. Plaxico Burress shot himself in the foot. Plaxico Burress doesn't do that. Eli's got 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And he might have 3 Super Bowl MVPs.
Dude, I'm telling you, if the Giants gave him half the talent that he had on those 2 Super Bowl teams, half in the second half of his career, he would easily have one more. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily have one more.
Jerry Reese also didn't allow us to get Tony Gonzalez in 2008. That was another one that he screwed up. The Chiefs said, give us a 4th-round pick. We'll give you Tony Gonzalez. And Reese said, no, I'll give you a 6th-round pick.
Think about that, though. Think about that. If Eli had Tony Gonzalez, dude.
Get it.
Yeah.
That 2008 Giants team was the best one I've ever seen. I was alive for 86. They were so complete on both sides of the ball. It was ridiculous. That team just ran down everybody's throat. And everybody knew it was coming, and you couldn't stop it. You could not stop Earth, Wind, and Fire that year. It's amazing.
And if they won that year, who knows? Maybe they win in 09.
Or 2010, they were 10-6, lost that terrible game to the Eagles. They would have been a 2nd seed that year.
Yeah.
The craziest part about the first Giants win was it pissed the Giants off. When they were going into that Super Bowl against the Pats, they were going in mad because everybody, dude, watch the pregames. Everybody wrote them off. Everybody said against that 18-1 Moss and Brady and that whole dude, they wrote them off. They were like, these guys do not have a chance. And what did they do in week 17? They lost by 3 points to that team.
Right.
They lost by 3.
I remember that.
In the world going into the playoffs.
I'm telling you, that team, everybody in my household, we said it. There was a bad feeling going into that. They had the formula to beat that team. They rushed 4 people straight
Pressure up the middle.
In my opinion, the unsung hero of that team was Osi Umenyiora. The Pats because Umenyiora freed up Strahan, and Michael Strahan did Michael Strahan things against Tom Brady. That whole game.
Tuck was giving him all kinds of trouble. I'm
telling you, they ran on. And I'm telling you, Entertainah and Baddog, it pains my soul to say this. They ran into a better team. The Giants had their freaking number on defense. Listen to the dude. Just Google the mic'd up footage on the sidelines of the Pats. They couldn't beat them. They had no answer for that front 4. None. Justin Tuck, Umenyiora, Strahan, them boys were all over them, and they couldn't do a single thing to stop it.
I'll tell you what. You know what eases your pain a little bit? 6 Lombardis. I don't feel too bad for you about it.
I don't feel bad actually.
I appreciate you giving us letting us have a couple there.
But in all honesty though, those 2 wins in the fashion in which Eli went into those games when everybody wrote that team off, and he basically gave he gave those pregame people the finger and just said, the dude was the general. He was the general of that team for 14 years. And there's no way the dude's not making the Hall of Fame. Bad Dog, I'm with you. First ballot. There's no freaking way.
I hope it's no first ballot. I think it should be, but I hope it is. I don't know if it's going to be. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's first ballot or ninth ballot. I just want him. I want him to be there, and I think and I know he will be. He will.
He deserves the fashion in which he won those Super Bowls. He deserves. He deserves to be there. It was his game-winning drives. It was his game-winning drives that sealed those victories. The performance under pressure, dude. And I'm telling you, I have no shame admitting it. That dude is, and just what he meant to the Giants, that city, for 15 seasons. The dude was everything.
And the guy never pointed a finger his entire career. That's what I love most about him. When he had every right over the second half of his career to point the finger at the offensive line, to point the finger at the team for basically failing him. Yeah. He never did it. And that's what I love about Eli Manning. That's what I respect about him more than anything. And that's why he's my favorite player of all time. I love Eli Manning. And
the Iron Man, dude. The Iron Man. The dude. How many times was he injured? There were times where I saw Eli eat, and I mean eat it. I mean,
he played
get blindsided.
He played with plantar fasciitis, Eli Manning. But he played injured several times throughout his entire career. He was a tough football player.
And the shoulder, their first game in 2007 against Dallas, said he was going to be out 6-8 weeks.
Yeah,
game.
Yeah,
He got his freaking head busted open against the Jets in a preseason game. He don't give a damn. He blood dripping down his face like, yeah, put some dirt on it. I'm going back in, coach.
I'm telling you, just the Iron Man, dude. The absolute Iron Man. The dude was a like he deserves a he deserves a plaque. He deserves a spot and can't he's earned it. The dude has absolutely earned it, in my opinion. Absolutely. He's those 2 wins alone. Even if that's the only reason he gets in, those are absolutely deserving. Those 2 wins.
And at the end of the day, that's all we care about as Giants fans is championships. And he was the quarterback for it. He delivered it. And he also, look at the other quarterbacks he beat to get there on the road. Mm-hmm. You're talking about Brett Favre. Yeah. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Tony Romo. He beat on the road all those Matt Ryan was at home, but on the road he beat all those quarterbacks.
The Favre win was like
when
he beat the Packers in when he beat the Packers in 07. That was impressive.
Well, that game wasn't the Packers right what? Did the Packers have
that was impressive that year? To me.
They were 13-3 that year, I think.
Okay.
That game against the Packers in 07 tells you how valuable Plexico Burress was to that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he undressed Harris in that game, and Harris was one of the best
all game long.
Yeah,
all
one of the
game
best
long.
corners in the league, and Burress went on at 10 catches. I mean, Burress was a big part of what they did, especially against Philadelphia. Couldn't beat Philadelphia without him, but with him, we owned the Eagles. He was an Eagles killer. Giants don't have many of those in their career, but he was. We missed him.
Yeah, we did.
And they still talk about that. Former Giants players still talk about him shooting him. So that's how big of a thing that was. Because that team was set up for a dynasty.
I can't believe dude shot himself in the leg. I'm sorry. You shoot yourself come on, man.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Oh, it's up in the leg.
But I mean, just to he absolutely deserves to I know it's it's been debated and people have said
Cheddar Bob's is
just the fashion in which he won those games. Only the best of the best. Not in the Super Bowl with the final drive, you not only do you do it once, but you do it twice. That's a Hall of Fame class quarterback there. Yeah. In that spotlight, you don't shy away from it and you deliver. He delivered twice and won him a trophy.
The 2 greatest drives, arguably in the history of the NFL, belong to Eli Manning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy. Super Bowl 23, Montana against the Bengals. That was a 92-yarder to win it. That was a good one.
Elway and the Browns was a good one.
2 of the top 5 or 6. We could all agree on that.
Yeah.
Eli Manning.
I'm just saying. That's one that. There's not many that come to mind.
There's no Tana. There's no dude. Those 2 drives were the most impressive drives I've ever seen. Outside of the Patriots coming back and beating the Falcons from that being down that much, those were the 2 most impressive drives I've seen in a long time of football. They were executed perfectly. The guy was a surgeon on those drives.
Yeah, he was. Eli said just tough, man. Ice water in his veins. Never said a bad thing about anybody. Never said everybody threw him under the bus. He never threw anybody under the bus.
And that's part of it too. I think that's part of a Hall of Fame class too. The guy had plenty of opportunities to toss coaches, to toss players, to toss, the defense the defense in those years where they were just atrocious for him and gave him he had all the opportunity in the world and he said nothing. He said absolutely nothing. And that alone, that alone speaks volumes. So that is all we have for you guys for tonight. I appreciate the 3 gentlemen joining me. I have wanted to do this for a while. Once again, guys, these 3 guys pushed me to create my channel and do what I do. So if it wasn't for Goose, Tana, and Baddog, I would not be here. And I watch like all of you guys' channels still and support them because you guys have done nothing but throw it back in my direction. And like, dude, you all three of you, I can't, like, you guys are the reason I'm here. You guys are these are the three reasons I am here, is because of them.
I appreciate that, Bobby, man. Thank you thank you for having me on the channel, man. You've always shown nothing but class on my channel. You've always shown me a lot of love, and it's my pleasure to come on here, man. Anytime you want me to come on, I'm always here. And yeah, it's a huge compliment. Bad Dog and me say it all the time. That's like the biggest compliment you could ever get on YouTube, is when another content creator says that you inspired them to create content. So that means the world to me, man. I appreciate it.
All three of you guys, like, I would not be here if it wasn't for you. Yeah. All three of you pushed me. You said, like, you can do this, you just got to start somewhere and work from so fun fact, the first video I ever made was my goddamn cat. I started with a cat video and worked my way to where I'm at now. So for anybody who's out there and you guys want to do it, like, you can do it. You just got to do it and commit to it. Yeah, you just have to commit to it. But once again, guys, these three guys, I've wanted to do this forever, because they are, not only are they like awesome content creators, but I view them all as friends. And one day, I'm telling one of these days, I'm going to drink a beer with all of you. I swear it's going.
We got to, man. We got to.
Hell,
one of these days, it's going to
happen, man.
It's gonna happen.
Somehow.
Definitely.
But yeah, but I mean, I appreciate you having me on. I mean, you and Goose have been with me pretty much, like I said, since I started streaming in 2018. And it's awesome to get to finally work with both of you guys and be able to talk to you in a live stream. I love the fact StreamYard makes it so easy to do this. Skype is a much more difficult thing to do these roundtables, which was awesome. If I'm not mistaken, Goose is the first member on my channel. So I never forget that. He, like I said, when I was having 12 people in my live streams, Goose is there, so I never forget that. And I don't know if either one of you, I can tell you this. If you guys want to know what I think about you, I don't know if you watched the video. There's a 42-minute video that I made. You don't have to watch it.
I have watched it. I have.
So you watched it. So you guys know exactly how I feel about you. And that's like I said, you guys both work so hard. So it's an honor for me to come on here and do this with you guys, because, like I said, even though you may be smaller channel than me, you may have started later than me, you guys inspire the hell out of me, because you're both hardworking guys. You both did it the right way. I mean, Goose is streaming everything. Goose is doing NASCAR, man. Goose, every time he does a NASCAR stream, it rains for hours. I can't get the break. At least they've had some good weather, man. But I mean, you guys, you deserve everything you get. You're both awesome guys, and continued success. I love watching your videos. I love watching your live streams, and keep up the great work. And hopefully we can do it again soon, because I
just want to say, to all of you guys, but like Bad Dog and Entertainah, you guys the Giants community has been so good to me. Like your community that I met through you guys and hung out in your chats, they've come over and like Goose, the same thing with you, man. Like Last Jedi and Rogue, and the communities from all three of you guys have embraced me as one of their own. And it's just, dude, it just goes to show you, like, in the end, like, sports are just sport. Like we all are fans. Like that's all it is. Like, we're all fans at the end of the day. Like, it's just the growth of my, like, just seeing where I started and where I've come, and just the embracement of the fans of all different. I mean, like, I never thought I'd get along with a Giants fan after all the goddamn heartburn that it's given me all these years from watch. That I can't watch that 18-1 seat. Like, I can't watch it. But
Bobby, the hell with a Giants fan. I'm a Yankee fan. You're a Red Sox fan. They add that to the mix.
But it's just you know what I mean? Like, just the fan bases from all. Goose, your Saints fans, Rogue, and all of them have. like Jedi, and like I can go, dude. I can go on and on, man. It's awesome, dude. It's just incredible. The embracement of all the fans is awesome. Sports is it brings people together, dude. No matter what because you root,
Yes.
the passion that you have to root for a team, it brings you all together, and you can talk, and it's just awesome, dude. But
Why we need it more now than ever.
that's
sports
dude,
right now.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And I like just to end everything, guys. Like I can't. And Troxel, thanks you so much for the $1.90 for the $2 super chat, man. Greatly appreciate it. He says sports is a brotherhood. It brings us together. No doubt. But for all three of you guys, from the bottom of my heart, guys, I really do. Like, you are the reason that I'm here. All three of you. You are the three that I found on YouTube and spent the most time in any of you guys. I would hang out in hours in you guys' chat and, drop the Andy Reid jokes but I mean,
Andy
like,
Reid
just,
jokes.
I'm telling you, all of you guys, you are the reason I'm here, and I can't thank you enough for doing what you guys do. Your content is awesome. Like all of you guys, the content is awesome, and I watch everything and I thoroughly enjoy it. And like, I've wanted to make this collab happen for so long because these are the three OGs. These are the three OGs. These are like probably the three first, like they're like one of the 10 first subscribers in the channel. Like, this is the lifeblood of why I'm here. And once again, guys, I can't thank you enough. Y'all are awesome. Sports expert, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Said y'all are goats. That they are the goats, man. All of them. They're the reason I'm here. So, and Asia says, Bobby, I can't watch the Yankees 2004 against the Red Sox.
Yeah, that sucks. I have a hard time watching it too.
But
I
in
can't
all
watch it. You want to
serious-
talk about heartburn, Bobby? There you go.
That's heartburn, Bobby.
In all seriousness, though, like Baddog, Tana, and Goose, like, thank you guys. Like, it means the world. Like, your content's awesome. I watch every video. You guys are awesome. Like, you're like family to me. I mean, me, Baddog, and Tana practically are. I mean,
Yeah, we are.
like, if we got together, you probably couldn't tell the difference between all three. I might be fatter than them too, but outside of that, I mean, it's probably we'd probably get along great. But yeah,
One of these days, we got to do it. We'll go to a Patriot game, or when the Giants play the Patriots, we'll do something.
Oh, we're organizing something. But to end the show, guys, thank you so much. Bad Dog, you want to try and pronounce that? I know I can't pronounce this.
We got one from Dire Giants fan there, but yeah, that's actually Meta Tarhan. That is how you say his name.
Meta Tarhan. Thank you for the super chat, man. He says, "Great stream, great job, guys."
We lovingly call him Meat, so we'll call him Meat.
Well, thank you for the super chat, man. Greatly appreciate it. Diehard Giants fan, once again, dude. Thank you for the super chat. You guys are awesome. The embracement has just been great, and thank you once again to you three guys for inspiring me to do what I do. And I've had so much fun on this platform, meeting new people and just being a fan, dude, and just having fun at the same time. And when the Celtics come back, I am going to lose my mind in stream. Bet on that.
Yeah. That's when they lose to the Lakers in the finals. You're gonna be really mad.
We'll see about that. But once again, guys, thank you again for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, all 1,500 plus. You guys are amazing. I have Bad Dog, to take a page out of Bad Dog and Entertainah's book. I have the greatest fans and the greatest chat on YouTube. You guys are incredible. Goose, everybody. Goose, Bad Dog, Tana, thank you guys for doing this, for just hanging out with me for 2 hours and watching me drink beer.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Can't go wrong with that. There's not a lot.
Thank you guys a lot. I greatly appreciate all the support. But for me and the three gentlemen in stream, we are gone. Bad Dog, Goose, and Tana. The Butcher is out of here. Peace.